Even though it's spring, it really doesn't feel like it today. It's in the mid-40s, so it feels pretty chilly. There isn't much to look at out here, but I think if I wander around a little bit, we can find something to talk about. You might have noticed the straw bales. I'm going to go ahead and plant a couple this year. I've never tried that before. CB over at CB's Greenhouse and Garden, he grows a lot of tomatoes in his straw bales, and he kind of inspired me to give it a shot. I'm going pretty small scale just to see how I like it. Right now I'm conditioning these 2 bales, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but you basically have to get them to start composting and heat way up, and then you plant after they cool down, but we'll talk more about that later. Right out here we have some spinach that overwintered, and we had a real cold winter, and some of the leaves were kind of burned, so what I did was I cut it down almost to ground level, and most of this that you're seeing here is new growth, so I'll be able to harvest some of that before too long. Then over there is the garlic, and it's not doing too bad considering how cold it was, except for this one spot down here, and not sure what happened here, but we've got some that I'm not sure are going to even make it at all. Don't know if they froze or what, but they're not looking too good. But the rest of it's doing pretty good, and the elephant garlic over there, all of it made it. Only had 6 cloves, so as you can see, I've got some weeding to do. And we have the French sorrels coming to life, and the rhubarb's starting to come back. Got some more over there. And over here we got the horseradish, and it's really coming back. It's gonna be really tall in no time, I'm sure. I stuck a couple of pieces of that in the ground from the grocery store garlic and did pretty well. That rhubarb's got a little more red tint to it than the other one. And the chives made it. I need to do some cleanup. We've got kale that looks pretty ragged. Over in the corner here we have the peach tree, and it's really got a lot of blooms on it this year. But we've got some cold weather coming this weekend, and I'm not sure what that's going to do to it, but it's going to get below freezing. But it's not looking too bad. This is a couple of pickup loads of wood chips. I didn't get as many as I usually do because it was just too cold most of the time this winter. And while I'm thinking about it, let's go check out that Narnia. And it's not doing so hot. I'm keeping it covered up with straw just in case we get something come up from the roots, but as you can see, it's kind of got a bark and it's separated. It's got roly-polies inside of it, but we tear off a piece. But that's the growth we had. But as you can see, it just, it's completely separated from the woody part of the plant. So it had no chance of regrowth. I don't know if we'll get some growth from the roots of this thing or not. The one I overwintered, it grew up from the roots, so I'm hoping that's what this will do, but I'm not very optimistic. My guess is it's completely dead, but I'm going to keep it covered just in case. Before I head indoors, I thought I'd stop here and let you take a look at the daffodils. They're growing next to this rose bush. There's still a lot of cleanup work to do out here. Just waiting for a nicer day to do it. Here's a look at my grafted plants that are weaned from the humidity box. That's a Ava purple ball. This one is a giant Belgium. Aunt Ruby's German green, Aunt Cherokee purple, and a white Tomaso. But that's all we have so far on the weaned ones. And here's a look at some of the seedlings. There's a little bit of everything in there. I'm not going to take the time to name everything off, and you can probably see a fungus gnat or two in there. And there's the pineapple. I've been putting that outside once in a while. Got a few peppers, a couple eggplants, and some odd and ends. This little eggplant I started back in December, and it's done pretty well.